now. Oh, it looks like we are live. We are live. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Women Leaders Walk the Talk. Welcome to Women Leaders Walk the Talk. And just like that, I tell you, somebody is on time, spot on time. I love the interest, Quita. I can't tell you how on time you are. I love the interest.
Right. That's how I was talking about before I got here.
You don't even know you are spot on, perfect timing. Like, we just went live and we are all here. And I'm so glad we're all here. I'm so glad everyone in the audience is with us today. Let me make sure everything's going good with the technology. I think we're good. I did not get a notification yet, but let me make sure. And if you all, I see it on my side, I see the Facebook Live. So it looks like we are good. So good evening to everyone. You are in the right place. This is Women Leaders Walk the Talk, hosted by the Great You Leadership Series. And I am your Chief Leadership Enthusiast, Christin Webb. So glad that you all took the time to join us tonight. I have with me some amazing women leaders. But I always like to level set, right? So if this is your first time joining, I always want to let you know why we're here, what's the platform, what we're even going to be talking about. So I believe everything that when we talk about success and failure in life is rooted in leadership. The leadership that, carried out the task or delegated or had a vision, whatever that is, right? And so when I started the Great You Leadership Series, I knew I always wanted to make sure I had an opportunity or an initiative or a platform that exemplified and amplified and heightened the voice of women leaders, right? For biased reasons, clearly. I'm a woman, and I've always considered myself a leader for the most part. And so I want to make sure that there's an opportunity for us to, one, close gender gaps, right? So I want to make sure that we can try to close some of the gaps that exist between male and female, right? The second thing is that I want to, well, that was the second thing, because the first thing is I want to make sure that I amplify the voice of women. But I also want to educate people on all these different industries that exist in the world, right? A lot of times we just don't know about specific industries, and it may be something that we're interested in, or maybe something that we can point somebody else in the right direction about. And so I wanted to use this platform to do that. And then lastly, because I always talk about leadership, I just want to make sure we're always adding to our leadership tool belt. I want to make sure that we're always finding more resources and more ways to just be effective wherever we're leading. So I always say we are leading self first. So it doesn't matter if you're leading in your community as a committee member somewhere. It doesn't matter if you're on the PTA in the school that your child is in. You are always leading, and you always have the ability to influence, positively influence people to move in the same direction about the same goal. So here we are tonight. We have the amazing Sharen Rooks with us. Hello, Sharen. How are you this evening?
Hey, everybody. I am fine.
Awesome. Sharen Rooks is with Power Media Solutions. And I'm just going to let y'all know, she's going to tell y'all a little bit about herself a little later, but she is a guru and expert in all things public relations and marketing. And so I've learned so much from her in just the short time that we've connected. And I look forward to hearing your voice tonight, Sharen. And then we also have the infamous, I'm gonna say it just like that, the infamous LaQuita Jones with Xclusive Memphis. Hey, Quita, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm well. How are you guys doing this evening?
Good. Can't complain. So, and if you don't know Xclusive Memphis, if you are in Memphis and you're looking for something to do, if you are looking for community, if you are looking for what's happening in the streets, if you want to connect and network and get to know who's who and who's not, and all the above, you need to be following Xclusive Memphis. So whether you're in Memphis or plan on visiting Memphis, be sure to tap into Quita Jones, because both her and Sharen truly are experts in public relations, marketing, and branding. And so we're going to be talking all of that tonight. I want to make sure I get a chance to just level set just a little bit more. Let me see if I am seeing what I need to see on my end. Do you all see it on your side?
No.
You don't?
Which page is it live
It's
on?
the Greater You Leadership Series page. I just want to make sure it's on there live. All right, we are. Okay, I feel better. I just wanted to make that double check that right quick. So we're good. We're good. So with that, I also want to make sure I check in with the group, with the folks that are online. You all tell us where you're from. We want to know where you're from. And we also, I never asked this question, but I want to know what space you lead in, because I may need to tap you later, ask a question. I may need to connect with you. So let us know the space that you lead in as well. And thank you for joining us tonight. So with that, I'm going to jump right in. I've done our introductions. I've talked about our whys. But here's a really, really fun fact I found, because I always like to look up statistics. So when we think about public relations, I found out that the market itself is like 70% women. It's made up of like approximately 70% women. That's a huge, huge number when we talk about, you know, balance and ratios. But of that 70%, we're only talking about 30% that are actually in leadership roles, that are in CEO roles, right? And so there's clearly great opportunity and lots of headway that can be made in public relations, marketing and branding. And so because we are always marketing and branding ourselves, or we're maybe looking to be in those spaces, tonight is why it's important that I want to bring you both on to kind of just highlight, one, your journey. How did you get there, right? And then two, I want to better understand, you know, when we're in public relations, what are some best tips and things like that? So we'll touch on all of that. So my first question for you tonight, though, is, if you had to describe leadership in one word, what would it be and why?
Leadership in one word for me is respect. And my why is, when there's mutual respect, trust happens. When there's a failure in respect, there are trust issues. That's my why.
And I love that. I never thought about how, you know, the way we respect one another or choose to respect one another off the bat, whether we know a person or not, you know, helps to start the trust part. And the trust is where business happens. The trust is where ideas are birthed and all that good stuff. So I love that. Great word. And I have a feeling we're going to hear more of that as we talk throughout. So what about you, LaQuita? What's your word?
When I think of leadership, I think of the word integrity. Because to be able to lead anyone anywhere, you have to have some sense of urgency, of integrity. No one wants to be led by someone who could possibly lead them astray or not in the direction they were even willing to go. So you have to have some type of integrity when you talk leadership.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, because I'm gonna just say that's a very sensitive word to me. And if I sniff it out and it doesn't exist, we have a problem. You know, Scotty beamed me up. We have a problem, because integrity is important when we talk about like being effective in leadership. And then when we talk about things being sustainable, right? You can fake the funk for a while. You can do things, you know, without integrity for a while, but the long-term impact, it's not going to be there. You know, you're not going to last long. You're not going to last long at all. So I appreciate both of those, and I can't wait to hear more about it. So we're talking about public relations tonight, along with women in leadership, but we're kind of focusing on public relations, marketing, and branding, as I talked about. So give us a definition. Tell us what it is.
Want me to start
You
first?
gave us like 3 words. Tell the question. Like,
so we'll go with public. We'll go with public relations. We'll go with public relations. What is it? Give us a definition. What's your definition?
Public relations is connecting the community or business partners to the brand. That's what it is. It's public and the relationship. You're bridging, you're connecting, you're forging relationships. That's what public relations is.
What about you, LaQuita? Forging relationships.
Pretty much the same thing. Public relations, of course, you can't have public without having the people. So it's about bridging a relationship with the people. Where's the gap? Information, informative, whatever you can do to bring whatever the aspect that at hand to the public and actually connect the two. Because if you don't have a misinformed or uninformed public, that's why public relations exist.
Good deal. So you mentioned something earlier because you asked me to clarify. You said too many words, Christin. Start over. So my question, so we got clarity on public relations, because to the average person, sometimes we kind of put them all in one lump sum, right? So I slick tried to put them all in one bucket. So let's get Christin clear right quick.
Okay.
Tell us what branding is and then what marketing is then.
Sharen, go.
Okay, sure. Branding is creating a signature message for your company or your business or who you are. It signifies what you stand for. That's what branding is.
You made that real simple for me. Signature message, whether it's organizational or individual. I like that. And that is different than, actually forging relationships between stakeholders for the public relation piece, right? So, okay, that makes sense to me. So then what about marketing?
Marketing is your way of communicating the branding and the public relations.
Okay, I see this little trifecta going on. They all work together, right? Exactly.
They all work together.
They all work together. So we got us a quick lesson on public relations and marketing and branding. So, and I like that because now we're all on the same page as we move forward, and our audience hopefully is finding their way a little closer. So I'm gonna be quiet because you all have told us basically kind of what you all do, right? You've given us definitions for what you do, but how did you all get there? And, kind of a concise way, share your story of how you landed where you are. As transparent as you want.
Before Sharen says that real quick, I wanted to add to the actually branding. When I'm working with clients or customers, a lot of times my goal is to help the brand or the business to understand a brand voice. A lot of times people are in business, but they do not have a brand voice. As Sharen mentioned, that talks about the identity of the company. What is the voice? So what do people think of when they hear your company name? So like for me, McDonald's, I think of French fries or the arch. Like, what is the brand voice? What do people think of when they hear your name? Now, in terms of marketing, kind of the same thing you said about the effect of the one whole situation. It's kind of like one band, one sound. There are different avenues of marketing, whether it be billboard, buses, vehicle being wrapped, you got social media ads, you got so many different ways of marketing, but you want to make sure that it's kind of one band, one sound. So there's different platforms and avenues of marketing, even word of mouth. I think a lot of times people take the word marketing and they niche it down. Like they kind of say, you don't necessarily want to make it so small because it's so broad. It just depends on what is the marketing budget, what is your ultimate goal. So marketing can be very extensive.
I love it. So it's more complex. And then I'm over here taking notes. I want to make sure that I pay attention going forward to what my brand voice is. Like, what do people think about when they think of women leaders walk the talk, right? So I can appreciate signifying and just kind of spelling out brand voice and, elaborate more on marketing. So also we off to a good start. So with that, tell us how y'all got here. How y'all experts? How y'all able to school us up?
Okay, Sharen.
All right. So you want to know how I got to this journey? Is that what you want to know?
Yeah, whatever you want to share. How did you get to Sharen Rooks Expert Public Relations?
Sure. I'll share my story. Well, I started off, I used to be an educator turned nonprofit director for All About Kids tutorial many moons ago. And so I quickly realized that I enjoyed connecting and building relationships, because in the nonprofit space, it's all about relationships and collecting checks. And so I was able to do that. I did it well. I ran my nonprofit for about 4 years or so, and I segued into public relations, started helping some of my friends in their business. And they were struggling with some marketing and some things were going on. And I was like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you have to write this, you have to do this. That doesn't look right. That doesn't match that. You can't do that. That doesn't flow. And so I started helping. And for 3.5 years or so, I actually ran my business And I didn't even have really a name. I was working for them as my beta test. And so one of my dear friends, who's a radio personality, she even gave me my tagline because she said, this is what you do. And so the tagline is, if you want it told, I'm the one to tell it. Had no name for the business. I was just doing it to build up my portfolio and seeing the successes of my friends. And so I said, okay, I need to take care of this and do it the right way and just start doing that thing. And so I began to research, study, do a lot of free work to build my portfolio. My biggest competitor and competition was myself because I am a critical person with my work. And so that's how, I got started in public relations and marketing. I could connect well with people. I knew how to build relationships, long-standing relationships, because again, you have that respect and that integrity. And so when you say something, people believe it. And if you have that type of influence, you should not abuse it. And I used it in the, the way to make money and to provide, that avenue. And so that's how, things got started for me.
I love it. Your story like really speaks to the importance of understanding how competencies, transfer over, right? You say you're an educator, you're right here teaching folks, right? And you're still teaching, right? You're still facilitating.
Right.
Yeah, you're still doing it, and it transfers over. Yeah.
Exactly. I stayed in the same lane. I've been in the same lane for 20 something years. So it's just what I do. It's my DNA. And if I'm not teaching or facilitating and trying to empower and help others, then there's no business, anything. And you have to love it. Again, I did this for free. So your gift, your thing you do, I loved it. And so that's how things started. And they've been going ever since.
I love it. Thank you for that. Y'all throw in the chat competence because it matters. This for my employers out here that write these job descriptions and they forget competence when we talk about promotion, right? Because it truly, you can move out of different industries and still be equipped and skilled to do the work. So, and you're doing the work even before you move into this space. So I appreciate that was my silver lining of the story. That's what I gathered out of it. And among other things. What about you, Quita? How did you become Xclusive Memphis?
So Xclusive Memphis, of course, is 11 years old. It started as a hobby. In doing this hobby, I found that people were actually getting paid for some of the services that I was rendered. So it slowly went from a hobby to an actual business. We started Xclusive Memphis with three things in mind: party, people, and purpose. I wanted to highlight the people that were from the city of Memphis. I also wanted to highlight the party and the party people in the city. And then I also wanted to have a purpose with the actual company, which came into the donations and the different things that we do from the community. So I wanted to highlight the great things going on in and around the Memphis area. So my aspect has always been the tri-state area, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas. With me being homegrown from Memphis, I feel like, as well as a socialite, I feel like that put me in the proper placement to be able to tell people the who, what, when, and where. So in starting doing that, a lot of people entrusted, they build integrity, and then I started freelancing my services to different artists, comedians, different management companies, etc. And then, of course, as I built that relationship, I was able to then turn that around to actually make it a fee for service and offer celebrity concierge. The branding and the promotion part kind of came later on because as people began to identify me who either had an interest in getting in my lane or learning more about the business, or be it business credit, just different things. People were tapping in, wanting to know information. I feel like the levels that I now have in this industry, that was something that I could turn into an additional stream of income to offer branding and marketing services for level one or aspiring entrepreneurs so that they will not make the same mistakes that I made, and also teach them the correct way as well as the industry way to do what they are seeking to accomplish.
Ooh, I love. So the first thing I wrote down was know your business. Know your business. Like what I heard is like truly understanding your business, what it is you're offering, and then being able to translate that into not just dollars, but passion and doing something you enjoy and creating the lifestyle that you want, right? So that was the first thing, because a lot of times when we walk up to people and we say, hey, I have this product or this good or this service, you know, it's more than just what is the product that you're providing or the service. It's really understanding the background of it. So I heard you understood your structure. I also heard you understood your market, right? And I assume even when we talk about public relations, and I know we'll talk about it more, but you have to understand the market if you're going to be out here doing, you know, trying to be a part of public relations. So I appreciate the story. The other thing I wrote down was mentoring, like the giving back piece that I hear, which is really, really important. I believe when we give back, it creates our sustainability as well as others. So thank you both for sharing that. Very diverse and well-rounded ways to get into it. What'd you say, Quita?
No, I said no problem. I also think that a lot of times you mentioned about know your lane, your market. For me, that, you know, sums up to what is your elevator pitch. You'll be surprised at how many businesses do not have their elevator pitch. A lot of times when you're dealing with successful business owners or people in business, we scrap for time. We don't have all day. So if you have a message or that you are trying to convey, what is your elevator pitch? That is something that a lot of businesses lack. And I think the more people identify their elevator pitch and they understand the who, why, when, and the word, that eliminates some of the mishaps of things that I see in this, not just this industry, but in any business.
Awesome, awesome. And you tapping on something that we're gonna get to in real good depth later, but I love that because I actually did write down elevator pitches. You were sharing your story because I was like, man, her elevator pitch is down, like she killing it. I know exactly what she does. I'm ready to sign up. And it's something for me as a business owner, I constantly am like trying to practice and perfect, because it really matters when you talk to somebody. You don't want them to look at you sideways when you get done, you know, saying what it is you do.
Yeah.
You want them to look confirmed, like, yeah, where do I sign up?
Kind of like with my children, I'm always like, get to the point. Like, if you, I don't know if you guys have children, but it's like they mom, and then it's like, no, but get to the point. Like, what is the act or what is the why? Like, get to the point. You got all day to be here.
Right. The visual is pretty, telling the background, the story, how y'all got to the middle of the park. All that's real cute, but at the end of the story, what's in the middle of the park and what is it you want me to buy? And why should I buy it? What's in it for me? So I love it. I love
that part.
Okay, so I got one more question about leadership, because I know for me, I consider you all both leaders in the industry. But my question is, because sometimes we don't really consider ourselves that. Have you always considered yourself a leader? And do you consider yourself a leader in the industry today?
Oh yes, I do. Most
I
definitely.
like that.
I do.
Yeah.
She was like, what kind of question is that? Like, of course I do.
I you know, uncockily, I tell people, name someone else in the Memphis market that has done A, B, C, and D, and Z. I'll wait. Like, you know, so definitely leadership. And then it's like, I didn't say I was the people's champ. The people said I was their champ. So it's like, when it comes to entertainment, I'm your go-to. Where else you gonna go?
I love it. I love it. The confidence, and those who follow me with the Great Leadership series, y'all know confidence is like my baby. I believe it impacts everything.
Yes.
So I love it. I hear it. And it's not arrogance. It's not cocky.
Yeah.
It's clearly understanding you know your lane and you know what you're doing. So, and the proof
And well documented.
I would say, yeah, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, you know. Couple of proclamations, couple of certificate of services, you know, the city of Memphis, you know, pat me on the back of town.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So y'all answer my leadership question. Let's get into what is the day in the life of someone who does public relations? What does the day in the life look like? Oh, we took a big breath over there, Queen. I know that was a mouthful. I'm sorry. And Sharen, you like,
Where should
I know we only got like 2 minutes for this one. We only got like 2 minutes for this one.
Sticky nose.
I know, right? I got 2 planners. Okay, 2 planners, 2 phones.
How much time we got?
I know, right?
I heard multitasking. I heard that public relations is multitasking, juggling. What else? What else? Day in the life.
It's a lot of, it's a lot of emails. I mean, you wake up early. I know I do. You wake up early. You want to, you know, check your emails, see who's responded. You're submitting, you know, your different clients for speaking opportunities and, you know, talking to media people. And you got to check your emails. Check your phone, check your spam folder, check your planners. I mean, it's a lot of moving around, meeting with your team, talking to your team through Slack. Okay, what graphic are we working on? What's the deadline date? I need to proof these things. I mean, it's a lot going on. You're checking stats. I know I do. I check analytics. I'm checking numbers in the dashboards on all of my client stuff. So, so we can build our reports out. It's a lot. I'm crafting messages and drafting press releases, flagging emails. So it's a lot, and scheduling meetings and doing consultations. It's a lot.
So everything that Sharen said, of course, is accurate. For me, like a lot of my team are VAs. So a lot of times I have to go start with the VA emails to see what have I missed, what has been accomplished, because a lot of times I am working post of what they've completed. So I can't move forward with the next task until they've completed A, B, and C. If I'm working on an event or something where the graphics, has the emails been sent, have the invoices been sent, have the invoices been paid for marketing and promotion. I also have a promotion schedule. I do not do promotions every day for the same event. Everybody has a different day that they have agreed to that I do promotions on. I have a set schedule. If you pay for once a week, I tell you what your day of the week is and what to expect. You have clients asking, hey, when will this go up? So of course that's clients email, you got text messages, you have your meetings, you have your calls like this. And then of course you have yourself, because you still have to remember to eat, remember to take care of your daily bills and expenses, because I also still have a household to run in addition to the business. Just different things like that. And then understanding like tax season just passed, so like receipts and to-dos, for me, my venue, Airbnbs, different things like that. So it's kind of like a whole bunch of jumble, but I have a planner that I kind of work by that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, everything has its own day. There's no way that none of my days could look the same. Like, it's just impossible, because on Monday, this is my focus. Tuesday, this is my focus. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then like weekend, I cover events. On weekends, I don't check emails because I'm out in the field actually covering events or etc. So you have the press releases, meeting at the different venues, managers, phone calls, just different things that pop up. And then the things, Sharon mentioned the unplanned things, like the stuff that falls through the crack or falls in your lap unexpectedly. So then you have to stop and put out a fire.
I heard project management, I heard accounts, I heard y'all communicators, y'all know how to do time management. What does I get? Customer service, data analysts, administrative professionals, y'all technical specialists. Those are just a few of the many hats that I heard.
Uber driver if you got kids.
I'm adding Uber driver onto my list right now. Uber driver onto the list.
And put educator on there, because during COVID, I was an educator with the stay-at-home kids.
That's a lot. That's a lot. But I'm glad we get to hear that, because that's the big picture of public relations. It's not just the end product that we see, right? It's not just the ads. It's not just the events that we attend that you all led us to. It's all of that legwork that goes into it. But again, it makes me go back to the word I said earlier, which was competencies. Because those are competencies that you all are carrying out for just this specific task, right? So you can take it over into other fields as well. So I just love when I can show opportunity. So you can get into public relations, you can stay, or you can move around, right? That's what I'm hearing. So that's good. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Okay. So here's something I like, because I'm big on community. Obviously, I started Women Leaders Walk the Talk because I want to be able to amplify and heighten the importance of women being in leadership. So when we talk about public relations, what does the relationships between women and support and connections and networking, what does that look like? And maybe why do you think it looks like that, and what helps it stay that way?
In Memphis or in our specific businesses?
Just in you can say in general, if you want to go just in the industry itself, maybe just working amongst those within the industry, or tailor it how you best feel you can give us the best insight.
Is this a safe place?
We are Facebook Live. We will be on YouTube later. But we do have bold, transformative and transparent conversations here. But if there's opportunity for growth, and that's what I think all these questions are about, if there's opportunity for growth, then what is that? What are those opportunities that we have can create more camaraderie or more cohesiveness so we all win it, so we're all winning at the same time? How about our friend?
Okay. I'm gonna follow Ms. Rooks.
There you go. I'm waiting on you to go.
Yeah, give me something, Sharen. Give me something.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do it because again, my tagline is if you want it told, I'm the one to tell it.
You're gonna tell
I'm real authentic in it, so I'm just gonna put it out there because this is what I have seen. My own experiences and the data that I have done. The women business professionals, there is a disconnect. And the disconnect is it's too competitive. It's too messy. It's too catty, and it doesn't need to be. And so what I do is I demonstrate the way that I believe that it should be done. And Christin, you can share our story. I reached out to you, I watched you, and I said I wanted to get to know you, and I asked you to be a part of the conference because I had been watching and checking out what you were doing, not to judge you, but I wanted to make sure that your message was aligned with where my vision is.
Yeah,
and I think
strategy.
Oftentimes women do not understand they don't understand how to be intentional. I don't have any competition with any female, any woman, any man. I just don't play those kind of games. Whatever is in my wheelhouse and what's for me is for me. And so I live and I walk in such a way, and I help anybody. Until you burn me, then I'm done. But I will help anybody because that's what I do. But if you show me who you are, I understand and I can read very well. I have the discernment, and I'll just back off because I'm not trying to push myself off on anyone. But I think that if women were to take the message seriously and they wanted to grow and amplify, there would be much more unity. And there are a few women, I can name 5 on my hand in Memphis that I know that are not like that. 5.
I know at least 2. I got LaQuita Jones and Sharen Rooks on the call. I got more, but
all right. I can name 5 on my hand of women in Memphis who are not like that. And you can tell by the way they move and how they act and all those kinds of, you can just tell how they operate. There's no need for it. And a lot of times women, we can do some things in our behavior that will shun others from not wanting to be connected to us. Nobody's trying to take from you. I know I'm not. And so I don't know if it's the way that we come across or they feel intimidated by people who are polished or successful. I'm not sure where that comes from. However, if we're all in business and at the end of the day, green is the color that we're trying to see and help amplify other people through whatever services that we have, we need to put away the stuff. And I say this a lot when I'm teaching, stay out of your feelings and let's do business. But if you're in your feelings, then we're not going to be able to do business because that's not what business is about. And that's just my feel. And that's my story. And that's what I'm saying.
And I love that y'all shunned away because I understand that you didn't get to give the most positive response that you wanted to give, right? But I did hear the positivity and the opportunity for the growth, and you gave the answer, right? To get rid of the competitiveness, right? It isn't a competition. It truly is an opportunity.
And demonstrate it because I do build alliances with women, and people see that. I will extend. I'll do the olive branch. I don't mind reaching out. I'm not afraid to do that because I don't want people to feel as if I'm a threat to them. I'm not.
I would say thank you for your
firsthand experience. But if you keep doing that, it will happen.
I say thank you for your firsthand experience because for me, on the outside looking in, when I see LaQuita, when I see Xclusive Memphis, when I see Sharen Rooks Power Media Solutions, I see cohesiveness, right? I see collaboration. I see unity. I don't see competition. And you all are in almost the exact same lanes, right? Maybe in different industries, different clientele, different audiences, but still in the same industry. And you all feed off each other, and I see the growth from it. So, you know,
Yes.
while it may be,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes less pleasant than we want, definitely I love to see that here are two perfect examples of where that camaraderie and that collaboration works, and it exists with the right paradigm
Yeah.
and mental shift, right? So,
Exactly.
LaQuita, did you want to add
Demonstrating.
anything?
Keyword,
Oh, I'm sorry.
demonstrating.
Yeah, I think the only thing I kind of want to speak on and add to that is the word I thought of when you said that was relationship. I think a lot of times women don't take the time to build a relationship. A lot of people ask, but what have you done? Like, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? People are, they don't know how to barter services. A lot of people start out in business and they automatically want to get paid. Have you done the work? Like I stated, I started out freelancing, doing different things for free of charge. We all want to make the green, as Sharen said, $1, but have you built those relationships where people will consider you worthy to actually get the dollar? And then also just not forgetting what you said about the community. Some things, depending on what the end goal is and who's involved, the end goal of the in person, some of those things should be free of charge. I think when you go back to integrity and things like that, I think that if you're out here and you're actually pouring into the community and you're doing things for the right reasons and you're in the right rooms, you build integrity so that people will invite you. But if you're being one of those snobbish or selfish or cliquish female, people are going to shy away from you. And unfortunately, we live in a social media world. Somebody's going to tell somebody that's going to tell somebody else. And then again, there we go back to the word relationship. What are people saying about you when you're not in the room? Kind of like with a resume. Your resume speaks to you to a potential employer when you're not in the room. What does your integrity and your character speak for you or your business when you're not in the room? You want to make sure that shines and that stands out, male or female. You just want to make sure that your business can go before you receive you, before you ever into the room, the chat, the conversation, or the Zoom call.
That's it.
So are y'all gonna start the collection plate from the left and pass to the right, or y'all gonna pass the collection plate from the right to the left? Because between the two of you all are truly like preaching words, like really, really good information. I want you all to drop in the chat. I'm not gonna say church, okay? But drop in the chat relationships, because that's what Quita just told us. That's what she just preached about if y'all weren't listening. For the folks in the back, put in the comments relationships. And it truly does matter. And we're talking about public relations, right? We're talking about women. We're talking about leadership. But the things that you all mentioned tonight, when I asked about what relationships, what leadership was to you or what public relations, you all keep with this resounding repeat of a message, right? It is respect, it is integrity, it is relationships. And so I always like to ask that question first, because it becomes, and it truly speaks to the essence of how you operate and how you move. So I can appreciate that. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're getting close to time, and I don't want us to miss out. We got some more fun. I know we've been laughing, but we got some more fun to do in a little bit. So let's do 2 tactical things. What is the best thing you've seen someone do in their public relations strategy? One thing.
Wow. The one thing?
Just one.
One thing I can name, one thing. Be authentic. Yeah.
Okay. Be authentic. That's hard, because social media tells you don't be authentic. You gotta, show all the fake stuff. You gotta act like you got a Rolls Royce sitting outside in your front yard while you wiping up your Nissan Honda Accord or whatever. Like, social media tells us opposite of that. So I love it. Being authentic. No one thinks about, strategy starting with an individual, right? No one thinks about strategy being that before you even start building on those tactical things. So I love it. Thank you for that. All right. What about you, Quita? What you got?
Just do or deliver what you say you're gonna do. Stand on your word.
Integrity. I hear you.
You don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So stand on what you say. And if you can't, provide a why.
There's that integrity again. And I love that. If you can't provide why, because then that goes back to see, I got my notes over here I'm going through, because that goes back to your comment about communication that you made earlier, right? It's okay that things go left. It's okay that things don't go quite the way the schedule was set up. Emergencies happen, unforeseen things that we can't forecast happen. The worst thing you can do, though, is not open your mouth or open that email and have a communication about it. so that you can be agile, so that you can be more strategic and determine, okay, what's our new step, right? And not steal that opportunity away. So that was a mouthful for me. If you don't start preaching tonight, that's your next call. You got all these competencies to take it to your next caller. But I love it. I love it. So I always thank you all so far. I know we can keep going and going and going with quite a bit of this, but I love to play this game called This or That. And it's a simple game. I give you a this and I give you a that. And without thinking too hard, you tell me which one you prefer or which one you're going to go after. And I did kind of stay in the thing with public relations and marketing and brand. I put them all together, LaQuita, before you told me to get my life right back.
Okay.
So I put them all together. So here we go. All right. Logo or website? If I'm starting a business, which one do I need to do first? Logo or website?
Website.
Logo.
Okay. I did logo first. No, I did website.
Okay, so we
first.
got a logo. We got a logo, and we telling the people we started this business. But when we do the CTA, the call to action, how do they get to you?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, let me answer that one. Most bootleg people who just start out and don't know what they're doing, they're gonna have Facebook page anyway, so they can connect the logo to the website temporarily because they're bootleg.
Hey,
it's not right, but they do it.
If I'm promoting my business on Facebook and I have the logo, when I post my CTA, where are they going? My inbox. So now we got
exactly.
Going to the DM.
Exactly. We talking.
Can I say I love this? Can I say I absolutely love this? Because I promise you, I hope you all are in the audience taking notes. And in the audience, you all answer the question since we seem to have a debate on this one. In the audience, what are you selecting? Are you doing your logo or your website? You don't have to be the PR expert tonight on this one. This is that logo or website. So it looks like we got a split on that.
We need to get to the transaction.
We got a split on that one because we're trying to get to these transactions. Okay. All right. So here's the next one. I got a feeling. I think I know what your answer is going to be, but let's see. Am I going for likes or am I going for leads?
Likes or who?
Leads.
Likes or leads. Or likes.
Leads, because leads equals potential customer dollars.
You just told us we're going after these transactions, so I knew that would be your answer. I love that one. All right, am I going with the IOU?
The Cash App making that sound that Shopify and Cash App. That's
what we want to hear. We just want to hear notifications going off all day.
Right.
Yeah.
As we make this impact out here in the streets.
But you mean sleep to my did I hear that?
That's where I'm working towards. Just noise is going off in my sleep. Oh, okay, it's happening. All right, so here's the next one. Am I waiting on an IOU or a net 30?
IOU. What's the terms on the IOU?
Yeah.
Nothing. IOU. That's it. IOU.
A net 30 is clear. An IOU could be
never. But I would have to say net 30. The IOU, we don't do that.
No agreement.
An IOU equals don't call me, I'll call you.
I love it.
No, the IOU means you shouldn't have done it anyway.
Say it again, Sharen.
The IOU means you shouldn't have done it anyway.
Look, I know some of these are a little crazy. I know y'all like that. Did she really ask that? But you'd be surprised. You would be surprised how people will roll. And I know this is not you all, but I wanted to ask tonight anyway. All right, so here's the last one. Are we doing email or text marketing? Which one are we doing?
Oh.
I didn't even know it was going to be that one.
Wow.
So I would go with the text.
I'll text. Yeah.
Check for the email landing in spam or even being undeliverable or people just don't check the email. I mean, so text,
text is more immediate, more real time. Exactly. I don't have to, I may or may not have my notifications on for my email. I may not check it till I get out vacation. But I got that text that told me I need to come to that next event that LaQuita having or Sharen growing or LaQuita telling us to go hang out somewhere. So I love it. I love it. So that's all I have for this and that. I just always like to see where we go quickly maneuver on the game, this or that you can find only here at Women Leaders Walk the Talk. That's my spiel for tonight. But I have had so much fun with you all. We are 15 out, and I want to make sure that we can connect with you all. I can drop in the inbox. I can go DM both of y'all, right? I may be able to tap you on the shoulder too, right? But wow, you all have blessed us with an array of information. Like you all literally have dropped a lot of jewels tonight. For those who were on the fence about being in public relations, or maybe even were worried about how they needed to present themselves and their businesses, I think you all really helped them in that way. So I'm so appreciative, and I want to make sure I return the favor, because you all have businesses and you all have initiatives and you all have people and followers that we need to be out here pressing like so you can get these leads, right? Because we said that the likes and the leads. So how can we connect with you all? How can we follow you? Like, how can the audience, be in touch and connect?
Sure. They can find me on powermediasolutions.com. I'm on Facebook at Power Media Soul, and I'm on Instagram at power_media_soul. And they can actually come and see me this Saturday for Jumpstart Your Business Live Networking at Expressions at Pikes Cross in Winchester. But you can go to the Facebook page and you can find all that stuff out. From 2 to 5, we'll be networking live.
All right, we got you plugged in the chat. Don't you all miss the opportunity to connect with this guru. When she has events, she makes sure that you walk away with valuable information. You're not gonna waste your time. So make sure you connect. What about you, Quita? What you got for us?
You guys can look me up or follow me at Xclusive Memphis without the E in the front on all platforms. It's going to be XCLUSIVE Memphis. If you're looking for things to do in and around the Memphis area, who's coming to Memphis, comedy shows, events, free tickets, advanced movie screenings, I'm your go-to person. I also can assist with business credit, personal credit, anything financial literacy. If you are into literature and reading, I have guides that are available on Amazon. All you have to do is search my name, LaQuita Jones, and there will be 4 guys that actually populate. If you are an aspiring or level 1 business owner looking to get into the business lane, you can join my Facebook group called Brand. It's BRANDBITS, where we talk a little bit of this and a little bit of that, which all things help you to determine and find your brand voice. I do have an event later this fall, September 23rd, called Girls, Gifts, and Goals. This is where we get women in the same room and we talk all things goal planning, goal achieving, and we talk about their gifts. A lot of times you have women that have not discovered what their gifts are, or even still trying to clear what business or line they want to be in. I'm a strong believer that, the Bible speaks that our gifts or our talents will make room for us. So we make sure that those women tap into those things. So again, all things at Xclusive Memphis. You can DM me or inbox me on any platform, and I will get back with you.
Awesome. So you know where to go find Xclusive. You have something to do come this fall. You have something to do come this weekend with Sharen. You all have been absolutely amazing. I promise every time I start to schedule and plan these out, I'm like, it's gonna go like this. She gonna say this and her move gonna be like this and we gonna bounce each other. No, this has been beyond my own vision, and it's in a positive way. And I absolutely appreciate both of you all. I have admired the work that you all do. And as a still early on businesswoman, I have much respect for the longevity that you all have put into the business as well. So with that, I want to thank our panelists again, Sharen Rooks and LaQuita Jones. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you to our audience. You all can get ready to go back into the kitchen and finish that spaghetti or whatever it is you were doing before you jumped on. And if you were like me, you should have been cooking the spaghetti while you were watching us. I would have been doing both. But other than that, if you want to stay connected with us, because I got to tell you about me, I am your host, Christin Webb, with Women Leaders Walk the Talk, which is hosted through the Greater You Leadership Series. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, what else am I on? LinkedIn, but at the Greater You Leadership is our handle. Our website is thegreateryouleadership.com. We have several events coming up June 17th. You can come check out our Confidence in Reach, which is our signature course where we really deep dive and understand how our confidence impacts our personal and our professional lives. So it's transformative. It's a reflective moment. It's a lot of fun. And you truly walk out a different person, and you're going to be better for it. So make sure you tap into that. And if you can't be in Memphis, we will come to your city with it. All right. Other than that, stay in tune with us on all this social media. This has been amazing. Thank you all again, LaQuita and Sharen. You all don't know. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as always, let's lead.
Bye, guys.